What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the ME Show. My name is Ali Madawi, and boy, we got a lot to go over today, but I'm going to start with all things cultural. You know, I was talking to my sister yesterday. We went to visit. Shout out to you, Tima. Went to visit yesterday, had a nice pool, relaxed family day, barbecues and grills. It was all fun. And she had a YouTube channel that she was listening to, and she said that she keeps listening to all the time. And it's a millennial focused DJ where they're only focusing on things from the last 20 years, musically speaking, that is, right? And I got to start thinking and reminisce a little bit about who is making the noise that is still relevant, right? And whether it's from sports, whether it's from music, movies, as crazy as Kanye West is, I saw that he dropped a new album and some new music on May or June of 2025. Like, as controversial as he is, people are still talking about him. I mean, there's even a song called Hallelujah, which is not a gospel song. It sounds like a gospel song, but he's praising Nazis and he's praising Hitler and he's talking about how he's a cuck and he loves to see his wife doing, things in front of, like, all these random things, which is crazy, right? That we are still giving relevance to certain elements. And look, I'm not here to judge, man. Whatever you do, because there's rock and roll music that's been for decades all about Satanism and zombies, and we all rocked our heads and went to concerts and did one of these, right? So whatever you are into, you are into. But the point that I'm trying to make, what are we getting from this generation? I mean, last I saw, Sawini got into some controversial issues about her blue jeans commercial with American Eagle, which all of a sudden everybody's talking about. Oh, it's symbolism for racism, which, again, look, I love everybody equally, and I call things out when they are crystal clear. I think Sawini was put in a position where she read a script because it was an opportunity for her to do a commercial, and she just did her job and read the script. But people in her camp should have probably did a little bit of an evaluation from a marketing campaign, like, hey, is there any potential backlash, especially in a very sensitive generation that we are living in right now, where everybody goes like, boo, and then you offended somebody. I probably offended somebody right now in the comments as we speak. But yeah, so I think if we go back to Kanye West for a second, he's I think 2024 was his lowest of all lows, right? Like, he went from billionaire status to losing his endorsements, which he bought back his Yeezys rights. I don't know if you knew that or not. You have his rants that are justified with mental health, which, again, I take mental health very, very seriously, but the issue that I have is, if somebody's having mental health issues, why are you giving them a microphone and a camera and saying, like, tell me more? All right, you're probably crazy, but tell me more. I think that young man should be getting some, or grown man, not even young anymore, should be getting some help and some healing as well. But, he had this moment where in 2024, he was doing a lot more gospel music, and he was kind of like coming back to the old school Kanye West. But then, just like any bipolar patient, I mean, just like that, a switch will just happen where he'll start saying, the Ku Klux Klan were good people, and praising, Nazis and so on and so forth. So, where do you stand on today's generational music and what is called culture, what is called music and movies, and what Hollywood is producing right now? I know my wife and I don't even spend any energy on any shows that are produced now, unless it's something with old school actors, right? And when I mean old school, I mean people that have produced some amazing content for the last 20 years, right? I'm not connecting with anybody from this new generation. And I hate to say it like this and sound like Unc. I just turned 40, by the way, so I guess I am officially Unc. But yeah, it's crazy. Millennials are still the dominating generation for the last 20, 30 years. I'm not saying prior to millennials there wasn't art, because trust me, I grew up, I'm an 80s baby. I grew up in the 80s and I grew up in the 90s, and the generations before have done some amazing stuff. But who is relevant right now, musically speaking, right? Whether from hip hop to rock and roll music, even if hip hop is the dominant music right now in all genres, um, even country music, right? Give me some new artists. Pop music. Give me some new artists. You still hear Beyonce dominating. That's my generation, right? You still hear Taylor Swift dominating. That's my generation. You still hear Kendrick Lamar. That's my generation. You still hear, I can go on and on and on and on and on. So what is this generation producing, or are we living in a rerun and sequel and type of shows? Matter of fact, I even did a little bit of homework in here. I got some notes, and I was looking the most successful movie franchises in the last 30 years, right? Because I'm 40, right? Since I was 10 years old. Marvel, my generation. Harry Potter, yeah, that was a long time ago in my generation. Fast and Furious, there were 10 of them, and there's part 2 of 10 coming out. Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park, Star Wars. These are, Lion King, just because there was a remake of it, and Aladdin. What is this generation producing? Which creates the battle of the generations. I think every generation has one, right? Like you had the 60s and the 70s, the era of the hippies and all that music from that generation, where their parents were like, what is this garbage? What is this nonsense? What is this revolutionary music? And et cetera, et cetera. We have the same exact thing happening right now in our generation, like mumble rap and old school hip hop. That has, again, that noise, if you will, of that's garbage, we don't even understand you. Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z, Nas, all-time greats, right? Big Pun, and I can go on and on and on. Forgive me to the legends if I left anybody out. But again, the question remains, what is this generation producing that is making an impact for a very, very long time? I can't think of I really can't think of anything that has made an impact other than reruns, Mission Impossible reruns. I mean, or sequels or new shows. I mean, Bad Boys for Life, the 4th one. You're talking about 30 years in a row worth of movies, from that franchise. So I don't know. I may be wrong, but that is. That is what my list says. So please help me understand if I'm missing it. What is the relevance? And when I say relevance, I'm talking impact, not just what's selling. And what I mean by that, Hollywood right now is extremely, let's just say, morally messed up, right? Where if they put a man on thongs and no pants or even a dress anymore, like on stage, and give them a guitar, they blow up and they go famous, right? Where you have anyone who compromises family values, they're going to give them a big check. The old school term of they sold their soul. When we hear that, we think they sold their soul in the terms of signing their name in blood into some satanic being. But the reality, selling a soul, at least from my perspective, is selling out your moral values. And look, the reality is, it's not just in the music industry. Look at even some gospel leaders, artists that are in the gospel industry. Look at pastors and what they compromise for the sake of the mighty dollar, right? Look, I'm an entrepreneur 101. I'm all for financial success, but I don't walk around claiming to be perfect. I don't carry a title, a deacon or pastor or father or prophet or whatever it may be. But I know damn well that every single one of them is as flawed as everybody else in the world, but they pretend just for the sake of influence and power and money. But at least Hollywood is clear about it, but that's a topic for another day. So is there any artist movie or impact that is being created right now by today's mainstream artistry, mainstream music, mainstream hip hop and pop and country. Those are the main predominantly dominant forces. I say that I'm willing to take that debate all day, every day, that the millennials are still the dominant force in the last 20 years or so. And many people will be like, well, of course they are. You're talking about the last 20 years. Yeah, but when Jay-Z would drop an album 10 years ago, yeah, it was impactful. Who has dropped an album right now that is making a cultural impact anywhere? Other than, I don't know. I can't think of anybody. And I'm pretty cool. I listen to cool music all day, every day. I recorded hip hop music for almost a decade myself. Nope, I'm not going to give you my rapper name, and I'm not going to tell you where to find it, but yeah. Yeah, another side of things, I think the music business has changed too. You look at what artists right now, they used to drop albums. Now they drop one song at a time, and one album would last a year to 2 years worth of drops. And that's just the music industry overall, right? You find music is just a marketing asset for an artist, but they're really making money. Look at what DJ Khaled has done, taking the bottles, of champagne and making commercials out of them, Jordans and making commercials out of them. You find when you go to a concert, before you actually make it to the main stage, there is a mall worth of merch that the artist is selling. Taylor Swift did $1 billion of revenue from her concerts, not from her music. So that's the thing that you got to look at, that I believe has changed. Social media has absolutely changed the way music is not only consumed, but also is marketed. And look, I got nothing against the business model. I think it's phenomenal. I love innovation. But I think it made it easier for individuals to become artists. I mean, there's a lot of people who came out just from social media. Post Malone, which also millennial. Post Malone himself has, popped off in SoundCloud and then used social media and blew up, right? And God bless. That's awesome. I'm happy for him. But is social media taking too much control away from the artist, where it forces now everyone to be independent, which I think is phenomenal? But at the same exact time, does the artist miss out on potential revenue? Because we don't know what you're supposed to be getting paid from social media, right? Unless you are part of Virtualverse. Virtualverse is a social media platform and live streaming platform that I'm excited that I'm part of as an executive and a trainer of to their content creators. And they pay you 11 different ways to get paid. At least you know what you're supposed to be getting paid. It's an up and coming. It's not as big as the major ones just yet. But you look at TikTok, you look at Facebook, you look at Meta overall, you look at YouTube. There is no clear monetization. I know that there are people who have had millions of views and made less than $500. You may say, I'll take $500. It's pretty cool. At the same exact time, was the artist making a whole lot more 1, 2, 3 notes, or points, as they call them in the music industry, right? Percentages for the lifetime of that project, right? Are you getting an NIL deal like athletes are doing right now? So there's a lot that goes into it that I think social media is stripping the artist from. But, yeah, and you're at the mercy of rules, regulations, and policies of the social media platform. Look at, TikTok is about to, I think they already have introduced an age validation process where if you're not at least 16 years old, you can't have your own TikTok account, which, by the way, hallelujah, as Medea would say, I'm all for it.
At ME Studios, we don't just create campaigns, we build brands. Our mission is to transform your ideas into a compelling experience that resonates with your audience and elevates your brand identity. Hey there! Ever dreamt of launching your own branding campaign, but overwhelmed by all the moving parts? From concept to execution, the process can seem daunting. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Look no further. Welcome to ME Studios, your one-stop shop for all things branding. Imagine this, a place where creativity meets technology and your branding dreams come to life. We start with pre-production. Our expert team dives into creative concept meetings, curates top-tier guests, and even puts together stunning headshots. We help you shape your vision and plan every detail meticulously. We even throw in AI-powered commercials to give you that extra edge. These commercials are designed to seamlessly integrate with your content, making your campaign not just informative, but also commercially viable. Next up, production. Picture yourself in a state-of-the-art studio with professional lighting, high-quality mics, and an inspiring atmosphere. Our studios are equipped with the latest technology to ensure your sessions are smooth and productive. We create power-packed segments split into 3 engaging parts, 15 minutes each, designed to captivate your audience. Our team ensures that each segment is filled with valuable content and keeps your audience hooked. Now, let's talk post-production. Our team meticulously edits your content, adding branded intros and outros, custom music, and flawless transitions. We take care of all the technical details so you can focus on delivering your message. We make sure your message shines brighter than ever. Our goal is to enhance your voice and make your campaign stand out in a crowded market. Finally, it's time to launch. We distribute your polished campaign across all major platforms, ensuring your campaign reaches the widest possible audience. But that's not all. We create viral reels, issue a national press release, and ensure your campaign gets the attention it deserves. Our marketing strategies are designed to maximize your reach and engagement. At ME Studios, we bring your vision to life. Our dedicated team works tirelessly to ensure your campaign is a true reflection of your brand and resonates with your audience. Your campaign, your brand, done right. We take pride in delivering high-quality, professional campaigns that make a lasting impact. Ready to make your mark? Visit themestudios.net and book your launch today. Our team is excited to help you start your branding journey. Thanks for watching, and let's get your voice out there. Together, we can create something truly special.
Absolutely for that. But at the same exact time, what else is going to be changing in the future that you don't have control over? Look at companies which you probably don't remember if you are under 30. Vine. Vine was, a 10, 15-second phenomenon video that people like King Bash came out of, the Anwar brothers came out of, and many, 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 many comedians, Matt Rife came out of, whom have had Vine, and then one day to the other, they just shut down Vine, and just like that, gone. All of their content and all the greatness that they were developing in years worth of work was just gone. So is that going to happen as well for the music industry and Hollywood overall? So it's to be determined. But let me know what is your take. I think music forever is going to be great, but at the same exact time, the generational battle determines the music itself. And I think there is a lot when it comes to politics that gets into the music. I mean, just look at, the Grammys and the Emmys and whatnot. You get everybody that comes up to speak, and all of a sudden they're talking about LGBTQ. They're talking about Israel, Palestine issues. They're talking about like actual issues, which, look, that's good. I think that's phenomenal. But at the same exact time, you got the battle of tolerance versus allowing. Like, what are we allowing to enter our homes, and what are we tolerable of? Like, I tolerate your beliefs in all LGBTQ rights, right? I just don't allow it in my house. Nothing against it. Just like if you were an LGBTQ family, and I knock on your door and I say, hey, you have to be such and such and such, and I'm telling your kids that, you probably won't feel good about it, right? So it's the same exact thing. I tolerate it. I just don't allow it. What I think is happening in the music industry in Hollywood overall is allowing everything with no filters, regardless of how much it would impact the younger generation, which is the main consumer of music and entertainment overall. So, again, I may be wrong, but as a parent, I think we gotta get back, man. Yeah, I'm 40. I'm saying get back. I think we gotta not get back, but I think we should just implement better filtration of the content that is being consumed. You go on TV at 5 o'clock right now, and there are ads that are having, two men holding hands and making out with each other, which again, cool, bro. Like, do you? I can tolerate your choices. I just don't think they are appropriate to be allowed in front of my child. Like, I don't think I'm asking or I'm saying anything out of the ordinary. Okay, let's move on. There is this new phenomenon of shows, and I talked about this in our other show, What's New with ME, which is Netflix specifically is big on this, where they're putting all of these different weird things in shows. And when I say weird, please don't be offended. I'm saying weird for a 5-year-old, weird for a 7 and 8-year-old, for my children, where they're wondering, what does that mean? Where there are shows like Ridley Jones giving pronouns, Coco Melon, it's okay to have two dads. The K-pop Demon Hunter, which I did a whole special on, using music to take the souls off the fans and give them to this, mythical fiery ball, and, for the purpose of rejuvenating them. Like, I don't know. That's just a little weird, right? I believe that you are to leave the kids out of it, and it's happening a lot. And the crazier thing for me is when I see other parents saying it's totally okay. There are communities and parents who would literally sit in front of cameras and activate their children into thinking it's okay to be like, non-binary. Like, I see videos of parents putting babies on cameras and saying, this is a gayby, like meaning a gay baby. Like, that is so wrong in so many ways. And look, not because of the gay agenda or the LGBTQ community or those choices. I am for you to love on whomever you want. But that child is a baby. And anything sexual next to the word baby is 100% pedophilia. Now, again, I know I'm going to get some heat for this, but I really don't give a shit. I don't. Because what's right is right. And just like you have your own dumbass opinion, I have my own dumbass opinion. See what I did there? I made it even, right? But again, if you're putting anything sexual, including gender identity, on a child, you are pushing a pedophilia type of conversation, because let that child grow in whatever natural element that they're supposed to be growing into. And when they grow up, because you know what you're doing, right? You're creating mental health issues. You're creating a disease. You're creating a child that's going to be very, very confused, because just like there are children whom grow up and they say, I don't feel like a boy or I don't feel like a girl, and they want to transition, which again, when they are grown 18 to 25 years old, God bless, do you. But prior to that, they don't have the right maturity to make those decisions. And they're going to grow up as you dressed a boy like a girl with makeup until they grow up. And then you're going to realize that child is fighting their identity. And they get angry and mad and sad and miserable. And then they need therapy and so on and so forth. So please don't take this as hatred. Don't take this as any negative way. But the fact that I'm telling you, it's a baby. Babies don't know. You are just excited about this toy in your hand, a human toy in your hand, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do whatever I want with this baby, which makes you unqualified to have a child in the first place. If I hurt your feelings, I really don't give a shit, because it's my platform as much as it is your platform to comment on, right? Okay. Yeah. It's crazy. We're going to take a quick break, and after we come back, I have some closing remarks for you.
ME Studios. We don't just create campaigns, we build brands. Our mission is to transform your ideas into a compelling experience that resonates with your audience and elevates your brand identity. Hey there! Ever dreamt of launching your own branding campaign, but overwhelmed by all the moving parts? From concept to execution, the process can seem daunting. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Look no further. Welcome to ME Studios, your one-stop shop for all things branding. Imagine this, a place where creativity meets technology, and your branding dreams come to life. We start with pre-production. Our expert team dives into creative concept meetings, curates top-tier guests, and even puts together stunning headshots. We help you shape your vision and plan every detail meticulously. We even throw in AI-powered commercials to give you that extra edge. These commercials are designed to seamlessly integrate with your content, making your campaign not just informative, but also commercially viable. Next up, production. Picture yourself in a state-of-the-art studio with professional lighting, high-quality mics, and an inspiring atmosphere. Our studios are equipped with the latest technology to ensure your sessions are smooth and productive. We create power-packed segments split into 3 engaging parts, 15 minutes each, designed to captivate your audience. Our team ensures that each segment is filled with valuable content and keeps your audience hooked. Now, let's talk post-production. Our team meticulously edits your content, adding branded intros and outros, custom music, and flawless transitions. We take care of all the technical details so you can focus on delivering your message. We make sure your message shines brighter than ever. Our goal is to enhance your voice and make your campaign stand out in a crowded market. Finally, it's time to launch. We distribute your polished campaign across all major platforms, ensuring your campaign reaches the widest possible audience. But that's not all. We create viral reels, issue a national press release, and ensure your campaign gets the attention it deserves. Our marketing strategies are designed to maximize your reach and engagement. At ME Studios, we bring your vision to life. Our dedicated team works tirelessly to ensure your campaign is a true reflection of your brand and resonates with your audience. Your campaign, your brand, done right. We take pride in delivering high-quality, professional campaigns that make a lasting impact. Ready to make your mark? Visit themestudios.net and book your launch today. Our team is excited to help you start your branding journey. Thanks for watching, and let's get your voice out there. Together, we can create something truly special.
Welcome back. All right, here's my final remarks on today's episode. Millennials still kick ass. We have created some of the most craziest, badass commercials, ads, movies, music in the last 20 to 30 years, and we are still dominating. And if you don't believe me, the next movie that you're going to watch is either a sequel, another rerun, or a remake of a movie that we made. Yes, it's the battle of the genders. When it comes to all things children, please, please, please understand that we don't hate you for having children while you are a different gender or gender identity. While I believe as a grown-ass man, 40 years old, that there is a man and a woman, and they can choose whatever and whomever they love, there's nothing wrong with that. Where it comes to be wrong for me is when you allow a natural baby, a real human being, to grow up in an abnormal element, which is going to mess them up long term. And look, it's my opinion, absolutely, but there are many, 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 many studies that showcase that. As a matter of fact, if you look at many studies, as a matter of fact, I have it in here. Where is it? Morning Consult Magazine 2024 stated that 78% of women that they surveyed have stated that they are the way they are, nurturing their daughters and playful and as female and feminine as they are, is because they grew up playing with the old school version of Barbie, right? Just like my daughter still has Barbie in the house right now as we speak, it put an impact on their thinking on what a female and femininity looks like. That's why I call out the bullshit when I see it, when it comes to what Hollywood, Netflix, and many other streaming platforms are doing right now to impact the way our children are growing up to make them grown men or women or whatever gender that they're going to have, God help us, in the future. That's why I call it out, because I know, just like when I was a child and the shows and the movies that I watched impacted me as a grown man, that made me feel this is what a man is supposed to be like, right? The shows that we're seeing our children watching right now on their tablets with their headphones with no supervision, they're going to create the future. And look, I don't know about you, but I need the army to be big and strong and manly. And last time I checked, this generation that's growing up right now is very soft. I don't know about you, but we need to kill mental health issues. It is absolutely all-time high. Suicide, all-time high. And don't tell me that bullshit of, oh, the reason we need to be sympathetic to LGBTQ and all these different things because the rate of suicide is up 40%. It is up 40%, and one life dying is way too much. I am not beefing with that. What I am beefing with is simply the fact that there is still less than 3% of the population of the United States that gives a shit about LGBTQ issues versus many, 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 many more, hundreds of thousands more who are dying globally for real issues, millions more who are dying globally for real issues that include LGBTQ. But you're extremely loud about one side, but you're not actually talking what you need to be talking about, the real issues that matter for everyone, not just LGBTQ. These are my closing remarks, and I'm going to stick to them. I'll talk to you next time. This was the ME Show. Your boy, Ali Midawi. I love you for watching. Hey, leave us a comment. Leave us some stars. Let us know what matters for you in this episode, and I'm going to hook you up with a gift. You already know I sent a lot of people vacations, and I sent a lot of people all around the world on trips. I'd love to hook you up. So talk to me. You never know. You may be my next winner. Peace out, everybody.